Bobby Womack. It was a few cats. All the
Come down and beware of the black fist. The gorilla straight motherfucking killers in the mist. Take a shot, but you can't horse. Never thought you see some niggas in the forest.
You already know. If you see my face, it's What's the Word podcast. This is a very, very special show, not only because we got my brother J-Dee in the house, but this is our first filming for our season 1 at the world famous Coin Academy. You know what I'm saying? And this is a tremendous, tremendous privilege. Shout out my dude Macca. This is the way we do it. This is home, so why not do it? But without further ado, to start this crazy episode 1, my brother J-Dee, Lench Mob in the house. Man.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
A decade in the making right here.
In the making. I've been waiting to see you for how long?
Man, 2012.
Oh, man.
2012.
First and foremost, congratulations. Congratulations on the Coin Academy. My boy KB, man, he just was a great, great player. Thank you, too, for everything over the years, bro. I think since 2012, you and I have stayed in touch with one another.
Yeah.
I've done interviews with you. I watched Die For Radio evolve into this. And
you've been on my albums. You're on all 3 with your bitch asses.
Yeah, hashtag with your bitch ass.
Hashtag,
I'm on all 3
shout
of
out
them.
Wayne G. You know what I mean?
Shout out Wayne G. And the cool thing about it is that the blessings all came while I was incarcerated too, man.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that you got love for the cast that's on the other side of that wall too. Like I do.
It was interesting because, and I'll share with the audience how this all started. Me and Todd Davis have been business partners through this whole collection.
Shout out to Todd Davis.
Shout out to Todd Davis for sure.
Hip hop.
And he said, look, he knew I was a big Lench Mob fan, and this, he just knows how I love hip hop. And he was like, well, I've been talking to J-Dee lately. In fact, I've always been talking to J-Dee. It would be dope if we can get some. I think at the time, were you doing the children's book?
I had wrote this novel, an urban novel, but I was doing the short stories around the time that I hooked up with you in 2012. Me, J-Dee, and my boy Tony Barrel.
That's right.
From the Crenshaw district. All 3 of us, bro, we got together, collaborated on this one effort, and came up with Los Angeles Times Urban Tales. And it was just a collaboration of short stories. It was dope, though, man. It did pretty well. And that was kind of like the birth of my writing adventure that I've been on.
Yeah, so it was around that time. He was like, they got this going on. And I was able to talk to you without the girl in the background.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Without the girl in the background.
And but we started talking and started get to know each other as much as we could,
right.
and then found out how much we had in common as far as music we listened to, not just hip hop.
Right.
And 10 years later, here we are.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm on this side now.
Yeah.
I kept me a cell phone in there.
No, I know.
I got in a little bit of trouble, you know what I'm saying? Delayed my departure a few times, but I kept me a cell phone. It was just too much business and the world was moving too fast.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes on the payphone and some broad interrupting every damn 2 minutes,
Although we made the best of that.
We made the best of that shit too, though.
No, but it was dope because you had, one thing too, and we're gonna talk about this, in the show, but man, as far as I talk to you, and I know there were some dark times in there, but you were always so positive. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you got the short stories, you got the book, you got this. You know what? I want to do this too. And it was amazing to be on the outside and be like, okay, I can make that happen. Okay, let's do this. And we were still, progressing even though you were there. And we've even been through a couple paroles too.
Yeah.
Where I thought you was out.
Yeah, a couple of times. 2012 and 2017. And then they gunned me down.
That 2017 got me.
2017, they gunned me down. And then I ran into this idiot who tried to extend my stay again, but I prayed my way up out of there this time, bro.
Well.
They already knew the business, man, and I appreciate it, man. You did. You stayed down the whole ride. We pumped it up. We counted all the days down.
All the days.
And but like I said, I posted something the other day and said, I never give up, bro.
Yeah.
My mental discipline is something that I love. Because I never accepted prison. I never accepted it. And I don't know, a lot of people don't know, 28 years of prison can do some stuff to a man. So if you don't keep a spiritual foundation, if you don't serve your higher power in whatever way sincerely, and you keep yourself away from like dope and drugs and these medications that these doctors try to prescribe, bro, you know, you're gonna be all right. But the moment that you latch on to that shit, it's a wrap, bro. There's some dudes in there ain't never coming back.
Yeah, it's a trip you say that, because I just read an article on people that are ended up staying because they're hooked on the meds that they're forced to take there. And it's like, well, we can't let you go because of this. And it was like, well, you should have told me that before you start giving it to me.
Straight
that's
up.
crazy.
And if you do let them go, they ain't gonna be able to afford the medication on the streets.
Yeah, and then
So
then
now,
there's that revolving door.
Hell yeah,
There's that revolving
it's
door.
perpetuated, bro. This is by design. Trust me, it is.
So let's do this. Let's do a little history. The lynch mob. How did that start? And actually, let's do it even before that. You were rapping, obviously, before lynch mob started. What got you into rapping? Like, this is what I want to do.
Shit, the macaroni was soggy, the peas all mushy, and the chicken tastes like wood. Shit, that's how far I go back with it, you know?
Yeah.
So when I heard it, I remember my mother telling me it's a fad. I didn't really even know what a fad was. I was like, what do you mean it's a fad? She's like, it won't be around in 10 years. That was 79.
Yeah.
Hip hop 50, bro.
You know, the first, honestly, you say that though, but the first, and it was like a record that was like 4 or 5 years old. Oh, no. At this time, it might have been 10 years old when I first heard it, but I think the first hip hop record I ever heard, my uncle had a Blowfly record.
Hell yeah.
And that was like kind of,
That was gangbanging music. You put that on cassette with the vibe, you know, from Compton to South Central. You know, you had heat back there, bro. If you had Blowfly.
So your mom says it's a fad. What are you thinking?
Absolutely not. Y'all messed up and let something out the box.
Yeah.
Look at it, 50 years later. Look at these cats, streaming services, 160 million streams. Insane numbers, you
Insane.
know. Nobody would have foreseen this.
No.
You know, I'm grateful for the evolution in hip hop, even if everybody don't like the music that's out now. Just the evolution of the art form in itself is dope.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, one thing I talk about on the show a lot, and when I have people such as yourself that were around back in the day, or you know, even people from the East Coast, you know, I had Lord Finesse on and people like that. When hip hop started and they started sampling, you know, these are all records we grew up listening to, and then they flipped them. And it felt like our generation, but it was already your favorite song because it was your favorite song from your parents. And now you flipped it, you're like, oh my gosh, like listen the way they did that. And that's really when I really started falling in love with hip hop, because I started hearing my favorite records growing up, but it felt like ours.
Right. That's actually what it was too. I think mine's came long before I heard a sample. Mine's came around 82. Mine's came at Uncle Jam's Army. And I heard, I'm listening to this Transformation, you know, from Planet Rock and Play at Your Own Risk, to this techno hop little scene that's in LA. LA wasn't no gangster rap town, period. I don't give a fuck who come to the table and try to say that it was. You know, you don't know your history of hip hop in Los Angeles. You know, LA was a techno hop city, bro, you know.
And didn't Jazzy have a, from a label,
Jazzy,
techno,
Jazzy,
what was it? It was called Techno something, right?
Itchy Bond, Techno something, I don't
Techno
know.
something, but he had some records back then.
Yeah.
Shout out Jazzy too.
Shout
That's
out
my
to
dude.
Big Jazzy D, my big brother. Straight up.
So we go through all that. How does Lynch Mob come around?
Ice Cube, circa 89, catch me right on the heels of doing a security job. Bumping to each other at the Warehouse Records. Too Short was doing the in-store with Ed Lover and Dre from Yo MTV Raps. Cube see me doing the security, snatch me to the side, take me outside, write me a check, suggest that we fly to New York and do this America's Most Wanted project. I couldn't believe my motherfucking ears. I just couldn't. This dude write me a check for 24 grand and snatch me up and send me straight to New York to do America's Most Wanted. And if anybody, you know, ever wanted to know this story, it's a book too. I don't know if you ever read The Original Gangsters, my boy Ben Westall. Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Man, he told the whole accurate story. He even got his ass in trouble a few times. but Ice Cube was like, you know, he had these two names, Mass Circle or the Lynch Mob. I'm like, bro, no, the Lynch Mob. It's gonna ring bells. We're gonna be everywhere and nowhere at the same place and at the same time. And Jinx was like, hell yeah, Lench mom.
Yeah.
And it just took off, bro. It was some beautiful, organic synergy, bro. Because all those pieces were so eclectic. All those pieces came from different areas. Me and Shorty with gang backgrounds. I mean, real gang backgrounds. Jinx, hip hop, high school kid, T-Bone, you know, graphic designer, Ice Cube from NWA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, this is the nucleus right here that brought us all together, and it just was dope after that, bro. We blew up.
Now you talk about the Mad Circle. You've known Tunes and rest in peace, obviously. Tunes and Does He for a long time as well, right?
Tunes Calhoun, man, rest in peace, man.
Brother.
I love Crazy Tunes. Crazy Tunes used to always tell me, keep your head to the sky. He used to always tell me every time, I mean, the whole time that I was down and stuck in there, Crazy Tunes used to say, J-Dee, keep your head to the sky, you know? And I miss my brother, man. You know, he wasn't no sorry dude. I've been knowing Tunes, Dub, DJ Pooh, Ice Cube, just that whole group of talent and individuals.
Conglomerate.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real factors in hip hop, like for 30-something years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been knowing them cats for a long time.
So then here's the Lench Mob. You know, we got Gorillas in the Mist. You know, one thing, and we'll get to this, but y'all were very aware of your social surroundings and what you rapped, what you talked about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, was that, because look, being an artist myself, there's busting raps with your homies, there's writing songs. And I tell the people, I'll never forget one of the things I think you said Cube told you. And one of the things you told me, if you write the next line better than the other, you have a hit song.
You have a hit song.
And I
never forgot that.
So
I never forgot
what transformed you to rapping? Because again, we got to think about technology. Isn't you hop on a laptop and let's record this verse?
Right.
You know, you really had to be skilled to be in the studio.
Right.
You know, engineers aren't wasting their time.
Or somebody had to believe in you.
Yeah, or you know, but still they're taking you somewhere that
Right.
that engineer knows that person's not wasting their time or whatever.
Right.
What, were you already there to write songs mentality wise? You know, did Cube kind of, you know, or just being in the studio, did it help you? What got you to actually
that's funny you say that.
Because, you know, because it's a difference. Microphone etiquette, everything.
Everything. I was taught all of it. I didn't know what a bar was. DJ Pooh showed me how to structure 16 bars. Dub C is the first person who trusted me enough to even let me rap on the Mad Circle, Ain't a Damn Thing Changed. That's probably one of the hardest West Coast hip hop albums ever made.
The original Mad Circle.
The original Mad Circle, Ain't a Damn Thing Changed. It's the debut album. He trusted me enough to jump on You Don't Work, You Don't Eat.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. Everything was organic, bro.
And it had to be back then, right? Otherwise it wasn't working.
I was a backyard, gang banging, drug dealing. Let me get the mic, my nigga.
Yeah.
Jump on the mic and rap about everybody.
Let me get it, grab it.
Let me get that. You know what I mean?
Grab that.
Let me get the mic, my
let's
nigga, and rap about everything at the party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And show out and show that I had a little finesse, a little skill. Show, okay, I wrote this. I get an opportunity to bust it, so I bust it in the backyard. And people say, like G homies of mine, like my homie, like Big Pan and Smokey Rest in Peace. They used to always tell me, bro, what the fuck are you doing back here?
Yeah.
You could do something with this.
Yeah.
You could do something with it.
But I'm glad, you know, and that's something I preach on my show a lot too, is the difference between rapping and having a hit, or you know, or being in a studio, because it is a whole different beast. And you know, one thing that's missing that you know, I don't know how much because of the short time that you had, but you know, artist development was a big thing. You know,
absolutely,
how to talk to media, how to be on stage. And I got a fly around me, damn.
Hey, check this out though. I'm gonna keep it real. The brother Ice Cube was immaculate when it came to interviews. I used to sit back and study him and just watch how he articulated his words and how some parts of the interview that he didn't agree with, he just go to the next question. And if they wasn't down to go to the next question, he end the interview. I was like, this fool is a nut. I love this shit. So now everybody did the interview the way he sort of wanted done. And I liked it, you know. That was always some tough questions, and I loved that shit.
You know what's crazy? The interviews I seen with you, you was always turned the fuck up.
Man.
Every time you see
the
J-Dee.
90s, the 90s, the 90s were wonderful, bro. That's how my stupid ass, back then ended up in the situation I did, and it's nothing to laugh at, but it is funny. No. It's nothing to laugh at, but it is funny.
In retrospect,
because I had to
like,
laugh at it. I had to have a sense of humor, or the shit would have ate me
But you also had to be you. That was you at the time.
And I don't make no apologies for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? If I had to do it all over again today, I would make a left instead of a right.
Yeah.
I would not put myself in that position. You know what I mean?
Now, let me ask you this though. So this is 92 when you ended up going to prison.
No, 93.
93, okay, yeah, because it was after Gorillaz was 92.
It was after Gorillaz, it was after
like
Menace to Society.
Yeah.
It was like June 22nd, 1993.
Okay, so
I'll
there you
never
go.
forget that day.
Now, the way I remember 93, gangster rap was getting attacked, regardless. They were burning CDs. They were running that, bulldozers over CDs,
them, straight up.
So there was definitely, I don't want to be all conspiracy, but definitely a government attack, if you will, on gangster rap. The lynch mob, I hope I say this right, but it almost to me was like a West Coast public enemy, if you will. You were very, like I said earlier, very socially aware and would talk about it with songs like Who You Gonna Shoot With That? And you know what I mean? You were saying this in a world that there was probably gonna be repercussions.
Right.
Do you think that had a lot to do with what happened?
Well, first of all, it wasn't conspiratorial.
But I said I don't mean that.
It was a righteous congressional
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It was
for
a
sure.
righteous congressional investigation that was launched. I won't even say the names of the females who didn't like hip hop back then. I won't even give them that type of airplay.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, bro, that's what it was. And what they did was attack the messengers.
Yeah.
See, we weren't out there tearing up the streets to the extent that we'll go commit several crimes and rap about it.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
That's idiot shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, all we did was report what we saw. We were fresh off the heels, bro, of the 92 riots. So all we were street politicians, so to speak, on a mission, trying to articulate the sentiments and the emotions of our community.
Yeah.
And these bastards looked at it as if we were trying to be like incendiary devices that we would burn up the whole community.
I remember it because, okay, so 93, I think Doggy Style just came out too, or like after that, right? And they put, Snoop had to go through that. There was a lot of people going through some things. But I can tell you what, you had a mission with your bars. You had a absolute, there's nothing like what you had, right? You know what I'm saying, and what you were doing at the time. But there was a mission to not only just hip hop, but gangster rap not around anymore. I remember Whutz telling me a story, and he'll tell it better, about when they found out there was going to be a parental advisory sticker on there.
Oh,
and it was like, what?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the controversy was like, actually, that might sell better for us. But it was, there would never been a parental advisory sticker on anybody's shit.
Now, check this out, Lansky. That was the best thing that could have happened, because what it did was gave birth to shock value.
Yeah.
People broke their neck to see what was behind that rapper when you told them that if they heard this or heard that, you know what I'm saying, they would be changed forever. So the more that they tried to discourage this one ethnicity away from violent so-called hip hop, the more appetizing that it became.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers gravitated to it quickly.
And it wasn't just gangster rap, because like I know 2 Live Crew got in a lot of trouble.
That's where it started,
And they were just having fun. It's party music.
But it was all consensual.
No, and here's the thing too. A lot of people don't listen to the lyrics. And if you listen to music from like the 60s and 70s, they talking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
All of it is.
But I guess because it's rock and roll, it doesn't sound as aggressive maybe. They're singing, so the words, they sing a tune with the words, so each word lasts longer and people don't really can remember what the first word was the last word, so they don't put it together. But hip hop is in your face. And that's the way it was supposed to be. But yeah, 2 Live Crew had some issues.
Well, that's who gave birth to the parental advisory sticker. Mm-hmm. They are the ones that gave birth to that sticker. And shout out to Uncle Luke, And rest in peace to my Hawaiian homie, you know.
We had just had him on the show, too.
Yeah, bro, you know, it's good. Like I said, they gave birth to shock value.
Yeah.
By the time that the lynch mob came, our shit was so in your face. We didn't care about who we insulted. We didn't care about who got mad.
Yeah.
We had got so fed up with the way that the status quo was going. You know, look how they did Rodney King. But everybody thought that the riots were behind Rodney King, and it wasn't. It was behind the mistreatment and the obvious blatant racism shown inside the courthouse.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why the city erupted. So all we did was report that.
Yeah, and also too, if you didn't live in LA, a lot of people didn't know this from the outside looking in because the riots got a lot of shock value and a lot of air, you know, all over the country and world. You know, it was also about Natasha.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just about the Rodney King.
Absolutely.
You know,
it was a culmination of everything.
Because they gave what's her name like
5 years probation.
Probation, yeah.
Sue Jung,
yeah.
the broad at the store.
So it had been boiling.
Yeah.
It had been boiling.
Yes, it was a culmination of everything, you know. It was a culmination of everything. The stuff that happened to Pac, you know, it was a culmination of everything. And it was just, it set that thing aflame, bro.
Yep.
But hip hop, lynch mob, we were street politicians. That's what we said in Gorillas Ain't Gangsters. And we didn't say that we wasn't gangsters to disrespect the title of a gangster because we come from that. That's who we are.
Yeah,
That's what the transition was about. You know,
Absolutely.
Back then the transition to being a Crip in the blood was about getting up out the hood and doing something positive, and music was the escape.
Yep.
Now it's vice versa. Now if I'm not killing you and we don't have legitimate beef and I'm not trying to kill everybody in your camp, then we can't sell records.
Okay.
It's crazy, bro.
So where did that happen?
I don't know. And all you could do is just trace it backwards to when it was socially acceptable to just kill everybody to be famous.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, everybody got choppers, everybody got chopsticks, everybody got, you know.
So we're gonna go through a rabbit hole on this one. So let me do this. Now it's Lynch Mob, album, tour. What are you thinking? State of mind.
Family reunion.
Yeah.
Family first. That's the album. My goal in the next 9 to 10 months is to corral everyone, bring them into a studio, and put together this Family First project. It's a reunification of the Lynch Mob. It's, you know, whispering at the sister Yo-Yo and bringing her back in one more time with Ice Cube. It's Cube coming in and either blessing it with 16 or blessing it with the intro and the outro of an album. It's kind of like the resurgence of a concept album.
Yeah. Got you. I mean, concept album, these kids are gonna be like, what's that?
Right. And
Because we in a world full of singles.
absolutely.
Well, I mean, which
So-
has always been the formula, so don't get us wrong, like a single, I mean, you look at someone and shout out, you know, one of the Coin family members here, Tone Loc, you know what I mean, is still heavily, you know, pre-COVID, heavily touring off of singles from the 80s.
Right.
So it's still about that, but
Right.
it's different what we're talking about
Right.
in 2021.
Absolutely. And it's just staying current.
Yeah.
Loving the new production that exists, you know, not getting jaded and pigeonholing ourselves and handcuffing ourselves to that one particular sound. And you know, shout out to cats like AD, you know, shout out to cats like Infant Stone, you know, cats like Compton AV, you know. When those dudes make music, bro, Scheme and AJ and Dub, when they make music, their sound, it's Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the track could compete with anybody
Yeah, for
globally.
sure.
You know what
Well,
I'm
the
saying?
West Coast has always been like that,
Yeah.
though, and you know, not all this East Coast West Coast thing, but in general, I think even though the homie from Dallas, I think when East Coast was really like, wow, the West Coast was when DLC didn't no one could do it better. They're like, yo, they got somebody that, you know, raps as smooth as us and does this, because, you know, it was two different styles, especially back then, and it still is. But West Coast always had that sound.
Absolutely.
Always had that sound.
Absolutely.
A record that changed my life, and I was really like, I want to do this. And because I could visualize what was happening was Ice-T 6 in the morning.
Yes, that's the birth of gangster rap right there.
So to me, he explained what was happening so well that you didn't also have to be a gangster to be, because, you know, it's like, wow, he just told me what was happening, and you really felt it. And that's where really, to me, I hadn't started writing yet, but I was like, man, this is something special right here.
It's so dope. It's like a narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wakes you up at 6 and tell you that the police are knocking. Grab his shoes.
You can see it.
You know what I'm saying? So he paints this picture, and as he paints this picture and this day unfolds, all kinds of shit happen.
Yeah. Situational.
You know what I'm saying? Then he goes to the pen and he comes back after 7 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean,
He killed me. He said, back on the streets after 5 and the deuce. Yeah, it's like he giving it up for his partners right there.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to Ice-T. That's a G, that's a legend, that's a veteran. You know, consistent, relevant today.
Still relevant today.
Relevant today.
And new commercials with Oxy, with
Absolutely.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Absolutely.
and of course, what is it? SVU, Law and Order
SVU,
SVU. So
he
like,
the mediator.
like-
He's slanging car insurance. You know,
that's crazy.
auto shield. I said, look at Ice. I put the leather coat on and I said,
Let's
look at
go.
Ice.
Let's go.
That's the big homie.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, you know, Ice is very unique too because, like, when you attribute body count too, he wasn't just hip hop. The dude had a heavy metal band.
And they touring right now.
It's amazing.
And they touring right now.
He actually, I think he drops more music as body count than
Then he
as
does
Ice-T.
as Ice-T the rapper.
Yeah. But it's good. You know, it's good music still. You just still feel it. I was a big fan of back in the day of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
I love their style and what they talked about. And
That's funny though. In '92, Ice Cube did Lollapalooza, and LA had got hot. The streets heated up. It was a lot of murders that summer, and he invited me to come to Lollapalooza. So I flew to Lollapalooza and ended up at this place called Pine Knob in Michigan. And when I got to the venue, man, I met a cat, Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
And he introduced me to the band, Rage Against the
Zach
Machine.
and all them, yeah.
Yeah, we were all doing Lollapalooza.
Yeah, I remember those. Lollapalooza was like a K-Rock festival, right? The radio station K-Rock, because they had like Lollapalooza and like Weenie Roast and something like that. What's crazy is I don't know what year it was, but I saw Rage Against the Machine with Snoop. They were actually doing a tour, not just together, they had songs together. But I think what happened is the shows were so rowdy that after like the third one, they're like, we can't do this.
That's like a Dub C did some stuff with Korn, you know. Shout out to Dub
yeah,
too.
I've seen Korn live.
And that was
they
dope.
Were bad, yeah.
That was dope.
Cube got a few songs with them, or at least that one I know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
that's dope.
So let's say this, okay? You're a musician, coming off of, your first plaques, everything like that, but you locked down. Is music a gift or a curse at this moment?
Well, to be honest, it was a gift. It was a gift, and two, I wanted to rap.
Yeah.
It was a gift because I used it. I used it to do what I needed to do while incarcerated.
Yeah.
Get the shit that I needed to get, you know?
Because I've heard 50-50 stories. Some people are like, yo, I would have loved to, but I'm not there. I don't have a mic. I'm not in a studio. I'm not with my peoples. I can write a little bit, but then I lose focus because I'm stuck here.
No.
And then some people are like, no, I needed it to get through.
No, I wrote albums.
Yeah.
I killed everybody in songs. When I first went to prison, I wrote albums killing everybody in them songs. I threw them away though, I threw those albums away. They probably sell on eBay right now. But I kept writing.
There was no eBay back then, though.
No,
we would have never known this
writing.
digital shit was going to happen.
Exactly. I kept writing because it was therapeutic. The
Yeah.
shit became cathartic to me, And I had to release those emotions. I had to find an outlet. I had to talk about this man in this tower, and shots ringing out. I had to kind of report my observations.
Yeah.
Because it was just a way for me to take the talent that my Heavenly Father gave me and not piss on it. You know what I mean? And to this day, I still write.
But again, you know how to construct a song, though. And all this time I've been dealing with you, I've heard a lot of your raps. I have a lot of them recorded. You know what I mean? And I know you've always had so much direction, no matter where the fuck you were. And it was like, this is a true artist. And I think that's a big word that we're missing in the game, especially with hip hop. Like people can say what they want about Kanye. Okay, Kanye is an artist though.
He's an artist.
you know, these dudes in the 60s and 70s were weirdos. You know what I
Right.
mean? But they were artists. That's
They
not a
were
bad
artists.
thing. I don't say weirdo as a bad. Of course they're weirdos. Look at what Jimi Hendrix is talking about in a song.
I mean, come on.
You got to be kind of a weirdo to even think that way, right?
I mean, come on. You know, you look at it. You know, half the stuff that he's talking about. Look at the name of some of the albums.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane.
know?
You know, and the thing that I think, and I've said this so many times on my show, but I'm gonna say it again since it's the first one at the world famous Coin Academy, is when you talk to people, even younger people that do rock and roll or folk or whatever, they know the history of the bands. They know what guitar Jimmy Page used and what Head and Cabby was
Right.
using. They know, oh, he put his shit backwards so he could play it and this and that. I think hip hop, especially nowadays, is the kind of only genre that doesn't require, at least now, doesn't require that you know about any of that or know about how talented Biz Markie was, or
Right.
and just things like that. Like I could see. I'll give you a perfect example. We'll take a Tupac song, okay? Me Against the World album, It Ain't Easy. Easy Mo B did the track.
Right.
If we were to play that instrumental right now to like a 20-year-old, he'd be like, "What
He
is
couldn't
this?"
rap to that.
Not even rap. So not even a rapper.
Right.
I'm talking people just listening to it. They'd be like, "What kind of fucking
Right.
beat is this?" But then you hear Pac and what he says and da-da-da-da, and then we know, yo, he was going through this and da-da-da-da. Seems to me, I always say due to knowledge, but hip hop's like the only one that doesn't really require that.
Well, it's because, when it comes to hip hop, and it is everyone's fault that we don't respect music and the evolution of hip hop. It may not take that to record and do those things today that it took back then. And we can't get mad that the process has changed a little.
It's such a double-edged sword, right?
It is. But they should know how it was done.
Well, the way I look at it too is like when I look at, and this is some nerd shit, but when I look at plugins on like the computer and how you insert plugins to a track, right? They literally make it look like rack mounts. So if you think about how you used to record, you used to go through a reverb rack mount, an EQ, a distressor, whatever it was, and then go into everything, right? Well, just do that with the plugins. But go, I think what makes me so much more upset is that the information is all out there. Type it up on YouTube. Let's go.
Right.
An hour of your time, you could learn so much, and now you're recording you and your homies 10 times better.
Right.
But it just like with hip hop, to me it seems like hip hop has become so much more of a immediate gratification type of thing. Social media, this and that. And it doesn't need to sound good; it just needs to play. But you don't see that with any other genre.
Well, what you taught me prior to me being released from that long joke that I did was that content.
Yeah.
Shit has the shelf life of a tomato.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by the time that it dies, another one comes on. Another one comes on and another one comes on, So what they do is just release music as streams.
Yeah.
There is no story being told.
And who would have thought that you would actually have a little ass device, and just you can play anything from around the world.
Anything from around the world.
I mean, because
at the end of your wrist.
Oh my God, I used to record on tape the Wake Up Show.
Yes.
I used to record Rap City, videos. I used to have the box.
Straight up.
But you brought it up earlier. You were doing security for an album. It was at a record shop.
It was at the Warehouse Records in the jungles.
So that was something I used to go to at midnight. Someone would come out the record. We drive out here and go see.
Yes.
When Warren G dropped the album, the G-Funk era album,
yes.
we went to VIP.
Yes.
We and did the little pop-ups and got the autographs and this and that. When we would see people on Rap City, that's the only, or read about them in the magazine. That was the only way we had access to artists besides concerts back in the day.
Right.
Now they're live. Now we hear.
Right.
Which again, it's a double-edged sword.
Right.
With having the technology that we have, what do you think is missing, if anything? I don't want to put you on the spot to say anything's missing, but what do you think is missing?
To be honest with you, and this is just my small observation. To come home to what is in front of me is a blessing. It is too much almost.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? I can't say anything is missing or what I would wish would be there.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting to make music the way music is being made now. I don't have to go through all of those things and that process to make music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to do it right now and insert things in there too. So, I mean, the art form as a whole has taken a big hit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The grab for money is so important to these youngsters that you might as well get your bread and invest in something else.
The independent game is becoming king.
Absolutely.
Is becoming king.
Absolutely. You don't need a label.
You know what's crazy about the labels? I have a homie. I won't say his name because I don't want to put his, but so talented. He can sing, he can rap, he can play guitar, he can play piano, he can play drums. He even did a whole tour from Maine to California where he was a one-man band, right? He had a meeting with a label, loved his music, They looked at his Instagram following. Yeah, we really can't do anything with you. His following wasn't what it needed.
It determined.
And to me, I'm thinking, isn't that why you would why you would sign your life away to a label to get your following there? If you got the talent, let's go. You know, he could literally sit in the studio by himself and construct a whole song from every instrument. And it was like, yeah, you know. But to me, he said the way it sounded to him, it was like, I also don't pull enough like stunts on my Instagram. You know, I don't.
So I need to be an idiot with a large following.
Yep.
And because that they're making millions of dollars with these clicks and these likes and these shares, then what you're seeing is, bro, the culture being pimped.
Yep.
That's what it is.
And even with podcasts, you know, they have what's called clickbait. They're gonna write something there in a 5-minute YouTube video so you can go watch the big one and be like, oh, so-and-so said this about this, but when you actually go listen to it, it was nothing of the sort.
It was nothing.
But guess what? You already clicked on it.
You already clicked.
Yeah.
You already clicked and paid them.
And to me, like why fake the funk? I mean, I think as a podcast host and radio host and everything I've always done, we are media, and we have an obligation to put out the truth. Now, maybe I'm naive, but I think we kind of have to report things as they are.
Right.
Otherwise, why do it?
But you know, the dishonest guy always gets a larger following when he has a controversy and the bullshit and the lies, and you gotta, redact shit, and he gotta retract shit, and you looking at this dude like he ain't genuine, but you're genuine. You know what I'm saying? You tell the truth, you report the truth, you bring the best on. You bring the best on to give the truth.
But I also care about the culture because I think the culture saves lives.
It does save lives.
I mean,
it saved my life.
And that's crazy to say because you lost 28 of them.
But it saved my life. If I didn't go to prison, my life wouldn't have been saved. And if I didn't get hooked up by Ice Cube, I would have been in the first Desert Storm. I was 2 days away from swearing in at an ASVAB station.
You've never told me that.
I always kind of kept that one to my chest.
Yeah.
I was going to take my daughter and her mom to Fort Bragg.
Wow.
In the dirty South, and just go kick back and go to the military because I had stopped selling dope. I stopped committing crimes, and I was trying to raise a daughter a little bit different than the way my dad raised me.
What's interesting is after I'd gone through all my trouble, I was like, you know what? I was living in Riverside at the time, and I'm like, if I'm gonna get shot at this much, I'm gonna get paid for it.
Absolutely.
And I literally said, I'm gonna join the Army. I went to the recruiter station, almost damn near had a date, right? My brother, my biological brother, I'd never really gotten along with them. I've never told you or anybody this. He called me out of nowhere at my grandma's house and was like, look, you've only lived in Riverside your whole life. You've never seen anything else. I happen to have a house in Denver with an extra room. Come out somewhere different. And if you don't like it, there's a recruiter station in Denver too. And for the first time in my life, besides traveling on buses that I had no control.
Right.
But
right.
I went to Denver, and I never looked back. I've never lived in Riverside ever again, and here I am today. But I literally, like, I basically stopped my date from leaving from Riverside to go try Denver, and then it just never. I realized there was a whole big bad world out there that I've never seen.
And you gotta go see it. You gotta do yourself some justice. I was blessed, you know, to be with Ice Cube, man, and to see continents, you know.
Yeah.
And to go
Man,
to
what was
Europe.
that like?
Oh man, to be in Europe, man, to be on a double-decker tour bus and sipping on steins of beer in Germany and
Warm beer too, right?
yeah,
It's warm.
warm beer got you fucked up, you know. And it was a blessing because I was able to take this music and see how this music has actually touched other cultures, other ethnicities, you know,
And
other
it's
races.
crazy
of
out
people.
there. The fan base out there is
insane,
like,
bro.
that is-
You might get 65,000 people, or then you might get 700 in the club.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, yeah.
700 goes off. The intimate setting just makes the 700 a little more potent than the 65,000.
You know, even to this day, Europe is still, you know, blows ticket sales away, unless you're a Beyonce or Jay-Z or, you know,
Right.
but just for, you know, people like Evidence from Dilated Peoples and this and
Right.
that, you know, they still go out and sell out venues over there.
Right.
They still buy units, you know, they still buy CDs, they buy the merch, they buy the wristbands, they buy the, you know, and that's always been a crazy, you know, culture out there as far as hip hop. They've always embraced it like no other.
We had a surge in record sales at the release of Straight Outta Compton, you know? So you got 10,000, 15,000 units being moved in Germany just because Cube and the big homie Dr. Dre put out Straight Outta Compton. So check it out. I was thankful for that because it went to my sound exchange. It gave me a check to go to the canteen with. I was in the pen, you know? And I was thankful for that. I thank them brothers.
As cliche as it sounds, like, what are you thinking sitting in fucking Europe doing hip hop? You know, like,
It was a gift, bro. You know, I remember one time of being in Copenhagen, and I just was stuck, you know, on my balcony, thinking to myself, this is a cat from off Imperial and Western. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out the west side of South Central. This is a cat who Ice Cube has plucked up out of this obscurity and showed me something I never would have seen, you know?
Another thing you told me about Cube, I remember this specifically. You were like, you know, Cube could have bought me fish, gave me fish and this and that. Instead, he gave me a fishing pole and a
He gave
hook
me
and
a
was like, this is
fishing
how
pole
you do it.
And taught me how to fish. A lot of niggas used to be mad at me for not being mad at him, but I said, nigga, he taught me how to fish.
So we just pinpointed it. That's what's missing.
Yeah.
You know, all these kind of youngsters, and
Yes.
I'm not, look, y'all, I'm not shitting on these youngsters or nothing. The hustle is immaculate. Somebody
The
said
hustle
that
is
they're
immaculate.
like,
I
it's
I
ridiculous.
tip my hat to them young cats.
But I think that's what's missing.
They getting their money though, bro. They getting money like we never got before. And it's sick because we got the righteous formula, but they got the drive.
So,
that
so
I ain't
instead
never
of showing,
seen.
you know, they got like a fishing net and a boat already, damn
They
near.
got a
You know
fish,
what
they poisoning the fish.
Yeah,
They don't even give a damn. They just poisoning the fish and scooping them
no,
up.
but it's real. I think maybe that's what's missing.
Yeah.
You know, to have somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, yo,
to nurture you,
yeah,
know,
yeah,
straight up.
And I think that's important because I also think it's important to grow as an artist as well.
Absolutely.
You can't, you know, you can't just be Gorillas in the Mist 1992.
No.
You know, it's 2021.
Right. And the stuff that I have that has evolved with J-Dee's Revenge, that's my new CD that's coming out. Cut that.
Okay, yeah, we can cut that.
That's my new project coming out. It's called J-Dee's Revenge Volume 1, The Blacklist. J-Dee's Revenge Volume 2, Never Saw Me Coming. And then my goal is to corral the Lench mob and do this Family First project. That's what it is.
You know,
That's my musical endeavor right there. That's what's in front of me.
And you're gonna continue writing?
I have to. It's
Not
therapeutic.
just songs, just
It's therapeutic. I have 4 books in production right now, and the second installment to He Loves Me Not, the sequel is about to be released
I
Labor
remember
Day.
when you started that. I
Yeah,
remember when you
Labor Day.
started that. That's right.
It blew up too. It did pretty good.
Yeah. No, this is
Did
still on
pretty-
Amazon and everything too,
Yeah,
right?
that's the one on Amazon.
So
It did pretty
plug
good.
that real quick.
Yeah, He Loves Me Not. It's on Amazon. I even lowered the price for you stingy people to about $10. So go on and spend some change with your buddy.
Now that's got to be crazy too, being in prison and still being able to release a book to just go everywhere, right?
It is. It is.
I mean, that's this technology. Like it could be a double-edged sword, but
the funny shit is having a CO tell you how she liked your book and what it did for her, and then look at her through a different set of eyes, and she see you through a different set of eyes, and it ain't green and beige, and it ain't blues. It's just you and that female exchanging the things she
human
liked.
to human.
Human to human.
Not CO to convict or felon
I had
or
a
whatever.
crazy ass Mexican cop, bro. I loved him because he was a shithead, and he read the whole book. He told me bring it back tomorrow when I come to work. I brought it back to him, let him read the whole book. He should tear up everything but our shit. And I was like, fuck it, you want to read the book, big dog, read the book, you know? But he used to give me my respect. He was like, you could be doing a whole lot of other shit. Instead, you have decided to write these books. So he read everything that I wrote.
That's amazing. So when all that said, here we are, it's 2021. What does the future hold for J-Dee?
Well, bro, I believe I only have 3 things to do. Stay focused, stay alert, and stay alive. All the opportunities are gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of everything. I don't want anybody to take anything personal out there in the hip hop community. All the shit I do, it's either free or it's business.
Yeah.
Period. You know? If I do something for you and I don't charge you, it's because I love you.
Yeah.
If I charge you, bro, I need to get paid.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses for anything. I have to take care of a wife, and I have to help the daughters that I left behind for 28 years. I don't care who says anything. Every girl needs a father, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you're here to literally do that now. You know, you had no choice really at that time with the amount of time you did. I mean, it's just, I mean, you had no choice.
Absolutely.
So anybody that doesn't understand that, you know, I don't know what they're thinking, because by the way, this last 28 years, they've been doing that same thing for their sons or daughters or mothers or grandmothers or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
and I didn't interfere with that.
Yeah.
And I didn't interfere with that. I didn't ask to come before them.
Yeah.
I didn't ask to come first with anything that they did for me or didn't do for me. I didn't ask to become at the top of their priority list. So for a person who don't understand that I have a priority list and they're not at the top of it or even on it, fuck them.
yeah.
They'll be all right. I have a daughter named Brittany who I love. Shout out to Brittany, she's my oldest. Her birthday was yesterday. You
Oh,
know?
that's right. I just did.
Yeah.
Yep, I just did
You
see
know,
that.
I have a daughter, Chelsea.
Happy birthday, by the
Shout
way.
out to my baby Chelsea. That's my hustler right there. She do hair. And I have a daughter who designs her own purse line. Michonne, my girl. Shout out to her. I got my bonus baby, Deja. You know, runs the daycare with her mother-in-law. Shout out to her. Then I got my bonus baby Jordan, bro. She's the baby of all our children. Shout out to her. So I'm busy. I got shit to do. I can't do nothing for no dude. If I do it for you for free, it's because I love you.
Yep.
Everything else is business, bro. If they don't understand it, too bad.
So I got to ask this. When you came home,
Right.
did you go put your toes in the water in the sand?
Put my toes in the water with my sand, with my queen, bro.
I-
And I walked in a straight line, because I've been in prison for 28 years.
remember
and been
you told
walking
me
in
that's
a
the first thing you
circle.
wanna do.
I'm going to go put my feet in
I'm
the
gonna-
ocean, and I'm going to walk a straight line.
yeah.
And I walked for about 2 miles.
And I'm gonna tell you, when I saw the video of you getting out, I saw you hug your brother. I cried my ass off, you know, because I was like, again, I've been fucking with you for a minute, you know, and I saw you hugging your brother, and then the next thing in my mind, I was like, he about to go to the beach. He about to go put his feet in the water right now, and it was such a beautiful thing. I didn't even hit you for like a week, because I knew you was just, you know, seeing family and this and that. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit my dude real quick. And I'm gonna tell you, even seeing you today is just an absolute blessing.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
And
I appreciate that.
I really, as I told you
appreciate
before,
that.
I can't imagine having a better first episode at the World Famous Coin Academy, y'all.
Boom, the W.
With J-Dee. I mean, this is an absolute dream come true. Because the fact of the matter is, regardless how long I've known you, how much we've talked, or whatever we've done, I am still such a hip hop fan that it's still to me, like, yo, it's fucking J-Dee. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I appreciate the lyrics. I appreciate, the construction of a real album. I mean, Cube in that era too was dropping albums that were just unbelievable.
He was a wordsmith, brother.
And for Cube not to be, named as one of the GOATs is crazy to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cube is the greatest of all times. And
one of them, but yeah.
He is the greatest of all times, man. In my mind, I've seen the brother evolve from the cat who rode on the bus, to the dude who's running his own basketball league.
Yeah, and
dude is vicious.
Another season. Congratulations to Cube. This last couple
then
weekends.
My boy Scarface, the greatest of all times.
He's in there too.
I love him.
Yeah.
Rakim, greatest of all times. I love him. So I got my GOAT list. You know what I mean? Yeah, even LL. But one thing that I do like, I like the fans, bro, because when I came home and I did hug my brother, I felt the love from the fan base who are still out there, brothers and sisters wishing me, a great welcome home and all these kind words, and I appreciated that. It was some haters out there, but that come with the territory. I love haters. Haters confirm that you're doing the right shit.
Yeah.
I need a hater. I need haters.
My inbox was full for years. What's up with J-Dee? Tell J-Dee I said, what's up? Hey, you remember, so shout out my dude at Off the Cuff Radio.
Yes, straight up.
Chili was on there, right?
Yeah.
And you had called me and I was like, yo, they on the line right now.
Yeah.
We should call right now.
I remember that. I remember that shit.
And they were shocked.
Yeah.
But, the fan base was always
they were always there,
they were always
bro.
there.
For 28 years, I would have somebody who liked the music get in touch with me throughout that year. I'm talking about all the way from Europe to Kililani, Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, bro, this is pretty dope. I had a lady that I met in Halifax, Nova Scotia, who wrote the whole Freedom Got an AK on some kid paper. You know what I mean?
You want to see something crazy too? Is look, when I drove here, I almost tagged you in it, but when I drove here, right, and I put it on shuffle. So look, 358. Look what came on.
Freedom Got an AK.
And I took a screenshot because I was like, it's only fitting. I'm on my way to go see my dude, and it came on in the shuffle.
That's dope, man. Shout out to the Lench mob. Rest in peace, Short Dog.
Rest in peace, Short. Yeah.
I know that was my best friend, bro. Growing up, we had did so much dirt together. We had did so much right together. We had gave after we had taken, and we had loved and we had hated people. You know what I mean? And then Shorty turned into the good brother that he was, and became a strong Muslim man and a good father. And I miss that brother, man. May he rest his soul. You know.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my family. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Mrs. P.J. Cooper. And
love seeing the smile on y'all face.
I want to thank you, brother, for riding with me since 2012.
You know it.
You know, shout out to Jazzy D at Jazzy Management. Jazzy
Such
rode
a
with
solid
me.
brother, man.
Jazzy rode with me from 2000 to the day that I got out. You know, so certain brothers like that, you know, you don't question their love and loyalty. You don't bother them every day.
No, and you know what's crazy is, I don't think that people know who the hell Jazzy D really is.
Jazzy is a veteran, bro.
But I mean, like a straight vet.
Jazzy is a genius. He's a veteran, bro, and he ain't no punk either. A lot of people think that clean cut, that polo shirt, and them nice shoes and those jeans that they running into a square. Jazzy will put hands on you.
Well, no,
bro.
that's the original corporate thugging, if you will.
He'll
You know
put
what I mean?
hands on you, bro.
But he worried about that corporate shit first.
Yeah.
But if you really want to act that way,
bro,
you want to, yeah.
My big bro will put hands on you.
You know,
I love him.
I have a very unique relationship with Jazzy because he's always showed me so much love.
But he's a genius, bro. He knows
But also
the
because
business.
of you, because he's called me a few times and be like, look, you know, we've been doing some things back and forth, and he's like, you know, I don't know about these people, but I know J-Dee told me you good, you know, so you family to me. you know, what's up with so-and-so or what's up with this, you know what I mean? And I've always been 100 with him. He's always been 100 with me. So we've always had a dope relationship. And in fact, you know, told him, yo, I'm having him come up. So you're obviously more than welcome, you know what I mean? And whatnot. But I want to thank you, first off, for blessing my episode. You know, my first What's the Word podcast.
This is the Coin Academy.
The Coin
What's the Word
Academy,
podcast.
yes.
Die for Radio. Dyer Lansky.
Also, not knowing me.
You know, you originator, bro. You been around, man. You the crazy white boy, man. I made 2 photo albums with just the pictures you sent. You got a picture with every rapper I ever knew, bro. From the East Coast to the West Coast.
You know, one thing.
From Above the Law to EPMD.
One thing that you know with this game, regardless of what you're gonna do, whether it's the media part, producing, engineering, rapping, it's about consistency.
Absolutely.
So I've always tried to be consistent. And I will, you know, shout out my dude Todd Davis, because we've gone through hell and back with even each other. You know what I'm saying?
Brother,
but
man.
He's a good dude, and we both believe in the same thing.
I heard from him about a week ago, man.
Yeah,
and he spoke about you.
We still doing it just like we were. But I want to thank you as well, because you also didn't know me for shit. And
Right.
especially
I watched you.
But I'm also from the streets, right? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And there's something about being able to look somebody in the eye and know what the fuck they about.
Right.
You weren't able to do that.
Right. I went by a voice. And I tried to tell my wife, your voice is just distinctive as your face. When you stuck in a hole for 15 months, I can't see you.
Yeah.
I might shower on the day that you don't shower, so you don't see me.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we have is our voice.
Yep.
Everything I get from you may come over a tear under the door.
And I thought about that too.
So
Sometimes
when your voice comes to me with stress in it, I hear it.
Yeah.
When your voice comes to me with joy in it, I hear it. So when I hear sincerity in the voice, I said, I get this motherfucker my social security number.
And yeah, I mean, look, you know, I tried to
motherfucker-
help you as much as I could with your
I will give this motherfucker my social security number.
And
I hate to cuss, but I had to do it.
No, I
because
get
what you set up for me, paid me, fed me, and secured me for the next 5-6 years, bro.
And what an absolute pleasure it was to do it.
I love you for that.
I
love you for that.
What
you did for me fed me for the next 5 or 6 years, because I trusted the sincerity in your voice based on the phone call.
But I thank you for that, because this friendship has been more valuable than any money or any notoriety or any fame or anything that could ever bring.
Plus, I told the homie to Google your ass.
Yeah. Like,
Google and find this motherfucker, bro, in case we gotta go holler at him. I kept the goon alive in me, nigga.
In case we do it. So look, we out. I appreciate everybody tuning in to the first legendary episode.
Lench Mob.
Last shout outs. Give it last shout outs.
I want to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, PJ, and my 4 daughters. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who had my back, from J-Dee and to my big homie Pan, to my big homie Angelo. I love you guys to death. I love you, Jazzy, and I love my wife, bro. And I love you, brother. Thank you for the opportunity.
Love you, homie.
I'll catch up with you.
Yep, absolutely. We'll be back. You already know What's the Word podcast.
Save hip hop.
At the world famous Coin Academy. This is what we do. We out.
G-Man.
I got some off the top of my head. It's freestyle? Freestyle. All right, this for the trigger tramps that always start trouble. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere y'all go, for the females, ain't got no self-respect. You know I'm gonna kick this one for them. How I go like this? I don't like trinkets and I don't like love letters, cause for me, the dumber the better. I like big butts, I like big hips, bitches with the big thighs, and of course I love them big lips, fake eyes and nails, it don't matter what, cause when my dick gets hard, it's like batter up. I get a naked, scope her from the rear, get busy, and bonus say, see ya. Yeah, I take all bitches, I take all whores, assuming a position on all fours, bring your crew, I like them in masses, but first, bitch, I gotta see how big your ass is, and if I need glasses, I won't knock it. I gotta see plenty ass in the back pockets for your virginity, bitch. I'm in the robbing ya. Hoes say cause my dick is a thermometer. Ooh, I know you feel a little hot. Let me roll on my Trojan, cause I don't know what you got. And watch out for the shot, cause when I let off, bitch, it'll blow your head off.